started the recording, so will you repeat what you just said?
It says we're supposed to first start by agreeing on what we're supposed to be doing with part 2, so everybody's on the same page.
And
So does everybody understand what's supposed to happen in part 2?
for some reason, I'm not hearing everything that you're saying. It kind of muffled.
There's a lot of feedback coming in from your mic, from when anybody talks.
Okay, so should I mute?
Try just turning it down first, because it might be your computer's hearing our voices, and then it's getting in the microphone, and then playing through the speaker and microphone over and over and over. Does it sound better now?
I've got it turned down, and I can always wear a headset.
I think it's working now.
I think it's better now, so.
That's much better. There we go. Grant, what were you saying?
So is this better if I use this method?
Yeah.
Okay. The other way wasn't working very well?
No.
Okay. It just said in our lesson that we're supposed to first talk about, to make sure everybody understands what we're supposed to be doing as part of part 2 here. We're supposed to be working together in solving the quiz that we have as a group.
Right.
It looks like we have 2 attempts at the quiz, but we all have to still submit the quiz.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if we just pull it up online and we all just sort of do it together, or
Yeah, we can all open up iLearn right now and start working on it. And for this meeting, did it say somewhere in the instructions that we needed to record it?
Yep, that's correct.
All right, excellent. I missed that part, so thank goodness.
So it looks like since Susan's recording it, she's going to post it. It does say that when you post it, to make sure you list everybody's name so that he starts knowing who's in which group. And so I would just say when you go ahead and post it, just, send all of us a copy.
I can certainly do that.
Do you know where we're supposed to send the link to this video we're making right now?
That's a good question.
Because I didn't see it on the
It's in the group collaboration for lesson 03. It says, please post a link to your group video here. Be sure to include names first and last of all attendees so everyone can get credit.
I do see it now. Thank you.
So.
Yeah, so when I go over to the discussion page where we just did our questions and our meet and greets and stuff, it'll say lesson, I don't know, I see all sorts of lessons. I don't see lesson 2 is on the very bottom. Lesson 2, group collaboration. So we'll have to say what our group is.
Right.
It's
number 7.
Yeah, it has like lesson 13 and lesson 2. I wonder if that's the different groups. I figure everybody would post theirs in the same thing.
So.
Yeah, I see Jeff Gotch, he posted already theirs. They met an hour before us.
Okay.
So we'll be able to see what they did, and it's under lesson 2. So I'm going to imagine we all are going to post under lesson 2 this time.
I just found on mine where it says lesson 2 group meeting. It says step 1, meet with your group using Google Hangouts and to discuss any questions you have on part 2 of the individual preparation assignment. Record your group meeting and post it to the link on the group collaboration discussion board. And then step 3, after your group has clarified their understanding on part 2, go to the next page to access the meeting quiz and start the quiz. While you're required to work together on this quiz, we have to submit our own answers to receive credit.
That's right.
Yeah, and the first group collaboration is in lesson 3, so you're right, we do need to post it there. There's no postings there yet.
You said in 3?
Yeah, there's not a,
Go ahead.
It could be probably lesson 2, group collaborations.
Yeah, it should be a lesson 2. I haven't looked for it.
And we
Yeah,
would follow the
I
group
only see-
7.
Yeah, but I don't
It
see a
doesn't-
lesson 2 group collaboration, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna presume we're supposed to post it in 3.
yeah, I agree because there's nothing in 2. It should be in 2, but I don't
And-
see it there.
And maybe, I mean, let's look at the following week and see if group collaboration is only in the second half. So for in lesson 4, there's group collaboration. And in lesson 5, it just looks like for lesson 2, it doesn't have a group collaboration page.
Should we just put in lesson 3 in case it was a mistake on his end and we can still have something to post?
Yeah, I think we can do it that way and also email him.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
So
Well, because he was saying that.
I'm
Sorry,
looking
go
under group 2. Lesson 2, group collaboration. And I see group 13, group 1, group 3 have all posted.
Oh,
And that's as of January 9th, and that was just today. I think you might be right. I think this is actually lesson 2. On Wednesday, it's lesson 3.
That
oh, wait a minute. I just found group 2 lesson collaboration. I'll send you all the link.
Clear at the bottom.
It's clear at the bottom. He's right. If you click discussion and go all the way to the bottom, it'll be there.
oh,
Very strange. But at least we found it, so we're good.
Okay.
All right. I am ready to start the quiz whenever you guys are up.
So did anybody have any difficulties or any questions they wanted to bring up before we go and do the quiz?
I don't.
I have to admit, I'm flying on coattails tonight. I just started a new job today, and it's been, excuse my language, it's been hell for the last week. So I am just now getting caught up. So I honestly haven't read, but I'm trying to get caught up, and I will be caught up by tomorrow. So tonight will be the only night, knock on wood, that I will be flying on coattails. So
No worries. That's quite understandable.
I think we are gonna all take turns
I,
throughout the semester.
Everyone's gonna have a
I'll just
bad
be
week.
the first one to get it over with. So
So there was quite a bit of vocabulary in this one. A lot of definitions and stuff like that.
Certainly, I'm really appreciative of the videos. Can I just say?
So shall we go ahead and start the quiz then?
Yep, I've got it all started up. I think the first 2 questions are pretty easy.
Yeah, they are.
I'm going to take a wild guess at true.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you have to kind of answer those on your own. Did you complete the preparation? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. And then I actively participated in this week's group meeting. Well, since we're all here, I think we can say that's true.
Mhm.
Okay. So why don't you go ahead and read the, Landon, go ahead and read the question 3.
Got it. Researchers would like to determine if reviewing material consistently within an hour after class helps students perform better on exams than if students wait to review material the day before the exam. To answer this question, the researchers are trying to determine if an observational study or an experiment would be more appropriate. They are discussing who the population will be and how they will determine which sampling method will best represent the population. Which of the 5 steps of the statistical process are the researchers currently applying? Not take to action. It's not make inferences. It's not
So they're
describe.
trying to come up with their first question, right?
Yeah,
I think they're designing the study.
yeah, I'm pretty sure it's designed to study.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. They've got to come up with their question first, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's design of study.
And their population of interest, and that's part of design the study as well. One down, actually 3 down, but
That's the spirit.
Okay, so on number 4, a researcher has collected the results of a survey where the participants were asked how many hours of TV they watched each day. The researcher tallies the frequency of each category and computes mean numbers of hours watched. She then creates a histogram to help illustrate the overall distribution. Which of the 5 steps of the statistic process did the researcher apply? So since they're trying to make sense of the data, right? They're not just collecting it, they're trying to describe the data.
Yeah, describe the data.
So what's the difference between describe the data and make inferences?
I think make inferences as a verb. It's maybe asking questions and more of research, detective work, while describing it's just explaining.
Yeah.
well, and if I understood correctly, making the inference, we're just taking a sample of the data and inferring what we believe it's going to actually show us.
Yeah, since she's describing the data, she's parading it, she's putting some kind of pie chart to it, she's using numbers, but she hasn't come to say what the data means yet. Right?
Right.
She uses data, so that one should be just describe the data.
I would agree.
Okay,
All right.
on to the next one.
Number 5, I'm fine with reading. Mumbai, India is a quickly growing city of importance in its own country as well as the global economy. A marketing research firm has been asked by a prominent fast food restaurant to help determine if the citizens of Mumbai would support this fast food business. From a list of all registered taxpayers, 3,000 names are randomly selected. Each individual on the list is mailed a brief questionnaire. Researchers receive 1,049 responses. The population is the 1,049 people who respond, the citizens of Mumbai, or cannot be determined.
Well, the 1,049 are only the respondents, and they only did a random sampling of 3,000. That was their sample size.
It's got to be the citizens of Mumbai.
Got to be the citizens is what they're doing. Then they take a sample from them. So the citizens, yeah, I agree. Any other thoughts?
Sounds good to me.
Sounds right.
Well, it says from a list of all registered taxpayers. Are we certain that those registered taxpayers are in Mumbai? I mean,
No, see, they
we
were
can
going to take.
infer that, but
Yeah, I think it implies, but it doesn't say. You're right.
That was one way they kind of filtered it down to who they're going to sample as taxpayers. They're going to miss out on anyone that's not a taxpayer, but that's not one of the choices. They're taking it from the population of Mumbai. Why, Susan, are you leaning toward you can't determine it?
I just love these sometimes not quite certain questions. I'm good with saying the citizens of Mumbai.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident with that. And if not, there's a second attempt.
If not, we all get a second attempt. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good point.
All right.
You want me to do 6?
Go ahead, Alan.
Okay, Mumbai, India is a quickly growing city of importance in its own country as well as in a global economy. A market research firm has been asked by a prominent fast food restaurant to help determine if the citizens of Mumbai would support this fast food business from a list of all registered taxpayers. 3,000 names are randomly selected. Each individual on the list is mailed a brief questionnaire. The researchers received 1,049 responses. The sample is...
Oh,
So that looks like it's the same question. Looks like we get our second shot right away.
I think
except,
it's
except that
Well,
the first one says the population is.
Yeah, and then the sample is...
1049. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. The sample is a smaller segment of the population. Yeah. So it should be the 1,049 people.
Yeah, it's got to be 1,049 people who responded for 6.
All right.
I would agree.
Okay, Mika, you have to the next one? 7?
Was that me? Sorry.
Yeah, Mika, you up to it?
Yep, I'll read number 7. Okay,
Okay,
studies
there's
have
only 2
shown,
answers, so we got 50-50 on this one.
right? Okay, studies have shown that retention of classroom materials can drop as low as 58% within 15 minutes of class and within 44% after the first hour after class. Forgetting the curve continues so that within 6 days, only 25% is remembered. How can a student conquer this forgetting curve? The researchers in this study claim that constant review is important. Suppose your teacher wanted to test this and invited you to participate in a study where you were asked to review specific material for 15 minutes after class, for 10 minutes, an hour after class for 10 minutes, and then again 2 days after class for 10 minutes. Your teacher then gives you a short 10-question quiz where your score out of 10 is recorded. What type of data is your teacher collecting?
Okay, so it's going to be quantitative.
I would
or
say quantitative.
It's got to be quantitative.
Yeah, I would agree.
Categories are like race, gender, location, stuff like that. The other is numbers, tallies, costs, something like
Right.
that.
Right.
Yep.
All right, I can read the number 8. Studies have shown that retention of classroom materials can drop as low as 58% within 15 minutes of class and within 44% after the first hour of class. This forgetting curve continues so that within 6 days, only 25% is remembered. How can a student conquer this forgetting curve? The researchers in this study claim that constant review is important. Suppose your teacher wanted to test this and invited you to participate in a study where you were asked to receive specific material 15 minutes after class for 10 minutes, an hour after class for 10 minutes, and then again 2 days after class for 10 minutes. After the 6th day, your teacher asks you if you feel confident that you have retained at least 50% of the material. He then records your response as yes, no, not sure. What type of data is your teacher collecting? Just by power of deduction. The last one was quantitative. This would be categorical, and it's got to be categorical.
Yeah, you're collecting words, right? Yes, no, not sure. Now you might want to add those up later on, but it's categorical.
Yeah.
And I reserve the right to be wrong at any time. No. So we have the same scenario again, right? Except for it comes down to the last couple sentences where it says, suppose your teacher wanted to test this and invited you to participate in the study where you were asked to review specific material 15 minutes after class or after class for 10 minutes, an hour after class for 10 minutes. Okay, so it's the same thing. Your teacher also selects a group to give no review to the material over the 6 days. The group is called the what? So there's another group that's been selected that isn't going to get the review. They're just going to get it once and then come back. So that's going to be called the...
I think it's the control group.
That's the one I want to say is control group.
I feel confident with control group. It's got to be it.
Yep. Okay,
So-
we're on to
Just for fun, I looked up control group. What is the purpose of a control in an experiment? And this actually relates to a fertilizer. The plants that receive no fertilizer are the control group and will be compared to others in the experiment. So in this case, the group that does not do any review at all is what is compared to those that are doing the review.
Yeah, in some cases, like with the polio, we would have said the people that were getting extra steady were getting the vaccine. And the control group was the ones that were just getting the placebo.
Right.
They got it once and then nothing. So then no extra. So the treatment group would have been the one that is getting the extra training or extra review, and those that aren't getting the extra. That's your treatment group. Not to confuse it, but that's just a different word and different use of what we're looking at.
Right.
Okay, so control group. Okay, number 10. Okay, this one's going to be, what's the following is a design, experimental design. So we get to pick out of here which one's an experimental design.
I just read through them all. I think it's administering the tuberculosis vaccination to one group and giving placebo to another.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep. Yeah, the other's just collecting information. Did you take the vaccine? Did you give it to your kids? Yeah, I agree. Okay, so we're on to 11.
Me to read 11?
Sure.
Okay, in a study to determine the average wage of working people in Mumbai, which of the following would be the best sample? 1, every 10th worker that you meet as you travel the streets. All of the workers in one working district. Many randomly selected workers in each of several working districts. All of the female workers. I'm going to
So if
go
we
with the
wanna-
many randomly selected workers in several districts.
I would
If
agree.
you want to do an average, you don't want to take them out of just one
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
any randomly selected. That's got to be it.
area. No.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
if you get them
many
all in
random-
10 different, or in different spots, then it's more of a
No.
overall view.
Mhm.
If they were taking that like in a marketplace or something in the central part of the city, you'd probably get a pretty good smattering of people.
Yeah.
They give you a pretty good average. Okay.
I can read the next one.
Go right ahead.
You want to become the next Jonas Salk and produce a vaccine that will help cure children of respiratory syncytial virus, RSV. I've actually never known what the S stood for. You test the vaccine and compare it to a placebo and randomly choose one group of children to take the vaccine and one group to take the placebo. What or who are the experimental units or subjects?
So who were we experimenting on?
It's got to be the child, right? We're experimenting
the
on the
kids.
child.
Yeah. We're not experimenting the vaccine placebo. We're experimenting on the kids. And we're not experimenting on their parents.
hmm
Though we'd like to experiment on the administrators, that's not going to do us any good. But the kids, the children.
Yeah.
So the same question in 13, but it says, what are the treatments?
That's
What
the
are we
vaccine,
using?
the placebo. That's got to be.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're giving the vaccine on. They're giving the placebo to some people.
Mhm. So the vaccine and placebo would be it. All right. On to 14.
I can read that if you want.
Oh, this is a long one here. And they're such short answers.
Yeah.
This study was an observational study, an experiment, or neither. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. In 1992, the U.S. government supported a study that was run for 15 years, where 4,600 low-income families were given a chance to move less impoverished areas. They distributed vouchers and provided various support systems. The researchers wanted to determine if getting people out of poor neighborhoods would reduce the poverty levels of U.S. citizens. The low-income families were randomly assigned to one of the following three groups. One, the MTO Low Property Voucher LPV group, which received Section 8 certificates or vouchers usable only in low poverty areas with less than 10% of the population below the poverty line in 1990, along with counseling and assistance in finding private units to lease. Two, to the traditional voucher group, which receive regular Section 8 certificates or vouchers, geographically unrestricted, and ordinarily briefings and assistance from the PHAs, local public housing authorities. Or three, the control group, which received no certificates or vouchers, but remained eligible for public or project-based housing and other social programs to which the families would otherwise have been entitled.
So an observation study or a experiment?
Got to be an experiment.
I think experiment.
What's one of the key characteristics to an observation study?
Good question.
They just observe. Researchers simply observe what happens without controlling the conditions.
That's
under
right.
which-
They're not trying to change it. They're just sort of going in and looking and seeing what is going on. With an experiment, you're trying to put something in place to prove your null set, right?
Yeah.
I've got a hypothesis. Is it true or not true? And now they've done three different things to try to prove something. So that's an experiment.
Yeah.
Okay. Last question.
This
Oh,
one's
it's a
pretty
mix-up.
easy. It looks like if you look at the more discern truth can Daniel, the quotes, it's just from the reading. If you
So Daniel
look to
is
the right.
what?
Design the
Daniel
study.
starts with design of study, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And then collect data is going to be can, which is step 2. So
Collect data is number step 2 is the collect data, right? That's number 1 on the comparison.
yep.
And step 3, discern.
Is describe the data.
Yeah, describe data. So let's collect 4.
And then step 5, truth, is take action because it starts with a T. And then make inferences is step 4, more.
Step 4 is make inferences. That's 5. And step 5, truth, is take action 2. So we have 3, 4, 5, 1, and 2. Is that right?
Yeah, I
I
think
have-
they're different ordered for different people, so we can't just
Okay.
read it off. Yeah.
So Daniel should be describe the data.
Yep.
Can is
Daniel,
collect the data.
Daniel should be design the study.
I'm sorry, design the study is number 1. Daniel, right? Did I misread that?
Yeah, you said describe the data.
Sorry, I have it right here. Maybe someone else should read than me. No. All right. So then we have 3, discern is describe the data, and 4 is make inferences, and 5 is take action. Okay.
Right.
Are we ready?
There we go. Does anybody know which group number we are?
Group number 7.
Thank you. I'm making the post. Only one of us needs to make the post on the discussion board, right?
Woohoo! We did it.
Awesome.
We only have to have one of the votes on the discussion board, right?
Say it again, Landon.
Only one of us needs to post the video link onto the discussion board.
Right. Let's have Susan do that since she's recording it.
I'll have to be able to grab the link once it's done recording. That's the reason why I would be the one to post it.
Okay, great. I forgot. We're missing. Oh, we're missing you. I was starting to make it with all the list of people, but you can have the list and finish it off.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. All right. Well done, everybody.
So our next meeting would be Wednesday evening, correct?
Right.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
this time working out for everybody.
Yes.
Wednesday at 9 is great for me.
Uh-huh.
Excellent. So now our next one is lesson 3, and it has a little bit more with graphing, Pareto's, box charts, stuff like that. Has anybody started that yet?
I have not even looked at it yet.
Nope.
Well, if you have any problems, get a hold of us. I mean, get on the board and start asking questions so we can get in there and help. Okay.
All right. So, Susan, you can upload the link and whatnot to the discussion board.
Yep, I can do that.
Excellent.
Well, thank
Looks
you
like
very
we're
much.
done here.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, you guys.
Thanks.
Thanks, everybody.
See you
See you
Wednesday.
next time.
Bye.
Have a good night.
You too. Bye.
Okay, bye.